Hello everybody that's watching and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So as you can see the title, today I'm going to be playing with and showing you the whole kind of collection from ABH that's just released. So they released an eyeshadow palette, loose glitters, metallic liquid lipsticks and lip glosses. I am wearing the palette on my eyes just now. Very cool toned. When do you ever see me doing that? And we will, or I'll put a timestamp or I'll link it down below where the tutorial demo starts really on this eye look. But I thought first of all we kind of go through each product that they've released in a small amount of detail and talk about them. So as always, I want to say a huge thank you to ABH for sending me PR. I think it's nuts that they do. I'm so thankful. It's so exciting to be able to test things and try them out before they're kind of mass available, and it means I can show you it on here and then you can maybe decide, it will help you decide if you want to buy things or not. So without further ado, let's jump into the palette. So the Sultry palette is glittery. This is textured glitter, just so you know, like it's not completely smooth. Like glitter doesn't come off, but it is that kind of gritty texture, which I'm not the hugest fan of the texture, but how beautiful is this? So it's a Sultry palette, like I said, it looks exactly the same as their other palettes do, the same kind of format, same kind of amount of shades, and then this is what the inside looks like. Mine is a little bit more bunged up because I've used it. This is the palette up close. In here you have 7 mattes and 7 shimmers in this palette. It's pretty cool toned, especially if you kind of get rid of the first, how many? 6. That's a pretty cool toned palette. So what I'll do now is we'll swatch it. You know I don't really believe in swatches, but I know that people like to see them, and I certainly like to see them. I just know that it's not how, you know, you can expect your palette to perform, but we will swatch them anyway. So the first shade in the palette is Fresh, which is a really pale base shade. You're not really gonna be able to see that very much. You can kind of see it. That's Fresh. Then we have the shade Pearl, which is what I've used on my inner corners today. It's really vibrant, like it's a really nice light metallic, and recently I found that their metallics are all too dark for my inner corner, but that one's perfect. Next up we've got the shade Steampunk, which is a really pretty bronze. It's gorgeous, it's really lovely, but I feel like we have seen that shade a lot, but anyway. Then we've got Rose Quartz, which is another of my favourite shades in the palette. I do find if you press quite hard in the pans, you do get quite a lot of chunks falling off with the metallics, but I usually use them wet, so that doesn't bother me. Then we've got the shade Ember, which is a deeper bronze. All these bronze have kind of micro shimmer in them of different colours, so they're all different reflects in them. Then we've got Bloom, which I know kind of stands out a lot in the palette. It's a matte, kind of corally, salmony, pinky red. How I would describe it. Then we've got the shade Birch, which is our first like real transition shade. Second row we have Cinder, which is another bronzy metallic. Then we've got Twig, which is a much more cool toned transition than Birch. This is almost like like I could use that to contour my face, I could. Then we've got the shade Teak, which is another bronzy gold metallic. Then we've got a deep matte brown called Dystopian. You can see they all swatch beautifully anyway. Then we've got probably the most interesting shade in the palette to me, which is called Cyborg, which is a silver, but it's like a champagne silver, so it's not like straight up silver. It's got like a pink kind of reflect to it. Then we've got Slate, which is a straight up grey matte. And then Noir, which they already have in their single shadows and in a few of their other palettes. There is Noir, a very pigmented black. So there's the swatches up close. Let me come in a bit. Hopefully you can see them a bit better now. initial thoughts on this palette when I first saw it online was, oh, I wasn't blown away. And I even, you know, I was talking to friends about it on Instagram and we were all like, oh, you know, it's not bold, it's not that vibrant, it's not really catching my eye. That bloom shade looks a bit out of place compared to the rest. But actually, I am so pleased with this palette because it's pushing me to do cool tones. And I actually think I really do suit cool tones. I don't think I need to just be warm toned all the time. I think I really can pull off cool tones, and I think it's interesting to be trying cool tones and playing with them, and cool tones, cool tones, cool tones. I really like this palette, and like I said, we will jump to me putting it on my eyes. But let's move into the other things in the collection. So there are four lip glosses, 4 sparkly lip glosses in the collection. This is them all here, kind of pinky champagne, a bright pink, pretty much a straight up gold, and then like a champagne gold. I will of course just swatch them all. I find ABH lip glosses are very moisturizing, very hydrating, and also they last quite a long time on your lips. Like, you don't have to reapply all the time. This gold is insane. It's like pure like yellow gold. Not sure how much I've reached for it. So there is swatches of the 4 lip glosses. I think they're so pretty. I'm actually wearing the shade Pearl over a nude lipstick right now, which is giving me that sheen. They are really pretty. Then they also released 3 matte liquid lipsticks. These are all minis, by the way, but these are matte metallic liquid lipsticks. So we've got a red, a gold, and then like a pearly holographic white. Let me swatch them all. I'm doing this left-handed for some reason. There are the 3 matte lips. Look at that red, like a burgundy, and then the gold, and then this one I'm gonna wear a lot over other liquid lipsticks. And it's really cool because I feel like now you can get that glossy look without having to wear lip gloss. I really like that shade, but look at that red. And then last up, they released 8 loose glitters. I'm gonna insert pictures on screen or videos on screen of my swatches of these, because to swatch them all it took me absolutely ages and there's no way I'm doing that again. I'll show you them all up close so you can see. They contain, I think it's 5.4 grams of product, so quite a lot. So this first shade is the shade Party. Then we've got the shade Electric. Then the shade Pink Sapphire. Mystic Teal. You know I love this one. Crystal Cake, which is another favorite. This is like a holographic white. Royal, which is another favorite. Look how beautiful that purple is. Blazing Sunset, which is a red, coppery, beautiful color. And last up, Star Power. I've not shown you the same one twice. This is it compared to Electric. Electric's more cool toned, more light, and this one is kind of deeper and warmer. Loose glitter's just loose glitter, so I can't be like, oh, it's the best loose glitter I've ever tried, because to me, there's no real difference between this and NYX glitter, which is like £6 or something. These are 15, I'm pretty sure. But they're really nice loose glitters. I kind of wish that they'd come out with like Stila kind of magnificent metal glitter and glows like liquid glitter, because that's much more up my alley. I much prefer a liquid glitter, but I do like them, I will use them. And then I really like the glosses and the matte metallic liquid lipsticks. The only one I probably won't use is the shade Mai Tai, because it's just, I mean, maybe I could, but realistically I won't. So that is this video. What we're going to do is jump into the kind of demo, trying the palette, and I'll kind of talk to you a bit more about it. But for right now, I will say hasta la vista, or hasta mañana, hasta luego. I'm learning Spanish. Bye. So this part of the video is going to be me just trying on the palette and creating a look, my first look using it. I'm excited. I'm probably going to go fairly cool toned with it because that's what I feel like it's asking me to do. So we will zoom in and start. The only thing, like all my makeup's done obviously, but I also have mascara on, so just ignore that. Hopefully that doesn't get in the way of me putting on eyeshadow too much. I hate putting on eyeshadow when my mascara's on. Sorry, I'm just moving everything out of my way. So yeah, I guess we'll just start, and like I said, I have no idea what I'm doing, so I'm very excited. Yeah, straight off the bat I'm going to go in with the shade Twig, which is this one just here. I'm just going to pick up a Zoeva 228 Luxe Crease, press in, quite a lot of kickback, it's quite dusty in the pan. Don't know if you can see that. Not too bad, but just to note. However, it's covered my brush quite heavily, so I think this shade's probably going to come out quite dark on my eye. Let's try. So I'm just going to try this in my crease, see what happens. It's a really nice transition colour. In fact, when I swatched this, I thought that would make a really nice contour shade. Not getting a heap of fallout though, which is good. Yeah, it's a really nice like crease colour. I'm going to go in with a clean brush and just buff out the edges. Yeah, there's a lot of fallout actually. The more I dip into it, it's creating like a little kind of puddle of shadow. I'm now going to go in with the shade Slate, which is the grey one just here, and I'm going to buff that around what I've done already. I'm going to use a big fluffy Morphe brush for this. This shade again has quite a lot of kick up in the pan, quite dusty. I mean, I'm just putting grey on my eyes. I'm going to take another fluffy brush, the Morphe M573, and I'm going to dip in the shade Birch, which is this one up here, which is quite a different tone, but I want to blend out the edges of this grey and make it more seamless into my skin. Oh, that's again quite dusty in the pan. That doesn't put me off, but I know it puts other people off. I'm just going to blend this around where the grey stops and my kind of skin starts. You know what I mean? Just the edges of the grey. And then just in that same brush, I'm going in with the shade Fresh, which is the really light kind of base colour, and I'm just going to fluff that round what I've done as well. I don't want too much of it on my brush, but just enough to really blend the edges of the shadow into my skin. I mean, they're all blending, I must say, absolutely beautifully. I've literally not had to stop and think, oh, why is this not blending? Like, it's doing it really nicely. Okay, I'm gonna pick up a small brush and I'm gonna take the shade Dystopian, which is this deep brown shade in the palette. I'm gonna pop that on my inner and outer corner. Taking that on a tiny fluffy brush as well, making sure it's blended into my crease. While I was waiting for my camera battery to charge, I kind of finished off this eye, so I'm going in with a little bit of concealer. I'm just going to pop this in the centre of my lid. Now I had to use this colour somehow, so I'm going in with the shade Bloom, and I'm going to blend the edges of that with Bloom. I know it's all looking a little wacky right now, but I think once I've got my lashes on, it'll look good, I hope. Also taking that under my eye at the front, like I've done over on that side. And then I'm going in with Cyborg, which is like silver, but it's not straight up silver, it's more like a champagne silver, like we've discussed. I am wetting that shade because it's quite a, not chunky in a bad way, but it's quite like a loose shadow in the pan. It's so pretty. It's going on so foiled as well because it's wet. Back in with some Bloom just to blend the edges. And then I'm going to go with a pinch of Noir, which is the black. Literally just a pinch on my very outer corner. And my lower lash line. My very inner corner. And then for my inner corner, I'm going in with the shade Pearl, which is so beautiful. So I'll go through on my lashes and then we will come back and see the finished look, but this is it just now. A little bit different to what I usually do, but that's the point of playing with a new palette, isn't it? So I'll be back in a second. So that's the end of this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think of the collection down in the comments. Also stay tuned because I've got another really exciting palette to play with, the new Morphe 35M. I got this today in the post. We're going to play with that tomorrow. So yeah, please subscribe if you haven't already. You don't want to miss out on that because why would you? I've just dropped something. I'm trying to get it with my feet. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. Really hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think of the eye makeup. And yeah, I'm going to go eat McDonald's and bye.